This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com. Coming up on Game On, a game that is impressive.
Most impressive.
Hey there everyone, and welcome to Game On. I'm Cameron Harris.
And I'm Sean O'Brien.
And today we are reviewing Star Wars The Force Unleashed for PlayStation 3.
So, as far as I understand, they also make this for 360, PS2, PC, Wii, just about everything.
Almost every console. There's even an iPhone app, which is, compared to the PS3 version, nothing. But very cool stuff. The PS3 version is, in my opinion, the best, just because it's the most advanced console. As such, it can handle the advanced features, HD graphics, and really cool animations and renderings. Very cool stuff with that. The Xbox 360, I think, is pretty similar.
Yeah.
And then as you go down, like the PlayStation 2 and the Wii are kind of the more low end.
Right.
It's still a fantastic game, though. Slightly different levels, but same storyline, same basic gist.
Got it.
And so the storyline in this is that you are playing this guy right here, Darth Vader's secret apprentice.
Ooh.
So basically, this is covering what happens between Episode 3 of Star Wars, the last of the prequels, and Episode 4 of Star Wars, the first movie in the original series.
Okay.
So kind of the 30 or so years between when Darth Vader first becomes Darth Vader and when Luke Skywalker's all grown up and starts becoming a Jedi, all that stuff. In between, Darth Vader finds this guy who doesn't really have a name other than just the secret apprentice, finds him on Kashyyyk, discovers he is extremely powerful in the Force, and decides to train him as his Sith apprentice.
Ah, okay.
Now, what's really interesting is that not even the Emperor knows that you exist. Because Darth Vader is planning on overthrowing the Emperor with you once you're ready.
Got it.
And the storyline, I don't want to reveal too much more because
You have to play to find out.
you have to play it to find out. There are twists and turns that you will not be expecting in this. Very cinematic in terms of gameplay, because it feels very much like a movie. I believe it was actually written by George Lucas, Mr. Star Wars himself. So
Yeah.
it feels very much like another Star Wars movie.
So it fits
except-
very well in between those two movies.
Exactly. It's like another movie, but just happens to be a game.
Awesome.
So let's take a look. So this is the first level of the game. In this case, you are hunting a rogue Jedi under the orders of Darth Vader. And at this point, you're actually in an Imperial TIE fighter factory, which we've never actually seen before, where they produce all those fighters that they use.
Wow, yeah, that's not in any of the movies or anything.
No, a lot of this stuff isn't. And so the idea here is that because you're working for Darth Vader, but no one except him can know about you.
Okay.
As such, the Jedi and his militia that are invading the fortress, they're your enemies, but the stormtroopers that are guarding it are also your enemies. Basically, the idea is leave none alive because no one can know who you are.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's nice because you don't have to worry about friends, allies, no.
Yeah.
So in terms of graphics, right off the bat, amazing stuff. And of course, in terms of attacks, you have your usual, like I'll just take out this droid here. Didn't really see that. Let's do this one. So you have your standard lightsaber attack. You have Force Push, where you can use the Force to push objects out of your way. And you can actually charge it up if you hold down the button and
Let it go. And
blast open doors and jump through them. So now here are your first enemies. You can use the Force Push on enemies and take them out pretty easily. Let's go ahead and jump down here and take care of these guys. So you can see there's a battle going on already between these militia guys and some stormtroopers.
So you kind of come in right in the middle of it.
And none of them are my friends.
Now I see that little green floating orb. What was that?
So that is when you defeat enemies, you get health. So you earn health. There are no like health packs in the game. Only defeating enemies gains you health. And that'll also earn you force points, which you can use to upgrade your powers later on. I should point out that when you start the game, you don't have these kinds of capabilities. I've played the game through several times, and I'm basically fully upgraded. As such, I have some mad skills. This will give you an opportunity. This is what you can strive for as you play the game. So now, apart from just the lightsaber, you also have Force Lightning, which is a very effective means of getting rid of enemies. Oh, more enemies. You can also use Force Grip. Using the R2 button on the PS3, you can actually grab someone, move them around. You can't move while you're force gripping someone, but then you can fling them into other enemies. This works with enemies, objects. There are explosive objects you can use.
Nice.
When you force push things or throw things into enemies, it kind of automatically targets them for you.
Thankfully, otherwise I think that would be a little too hard.
You can see basically wherever you look, you can see like that little glowing outline around an enemy, the little blue thing is my currently targeted enemy, or object. That's what I'll grab or push.
Got it. Well, that makes sense. It's a lot nicer than having, well, almost no targeting system.
Yeah. Now, the reason the game is called The Force Unleashed is because you basically have like practically no limit to your powers.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I jump up here, these little TIE fighters up here, I can grab those, move them around, and fling them down there. You can grab some really big stuff. And there's all kinds of stuff throughout the game that you can grab, like, floor tiles, ceiling tiles, wall panels you can rip off the wall and then throw at enemies. And I should point out, you use both analog sticks when you're moving something. Mm-hmm. The left analog stick moves things left and right, and the right analog stick moves things up and down.
Got it.
Which is nice. On the PS2 version that I used to play, you couldn't control how high or how low something was. It did that automatically for you, which is kind of a pain.
Yeah, I can imagine. So we were talking a little bit about the differences between PS2 and PS3. As far as other systems, do you know what the differences are?
I know that if you get like the Wii version, I think you can actually control your lightsaber with the Wii controller, which would be fun. I'd love to try that out sometime. PlayStation, they all have kind of slightly different level configurations. I think PS3 and Xbox 360 have the same kind of configuration. PS3 has different PS2, excuse me, has different levels, and like same location. Like it has the TIE Fighter level, but they're laid out differently.
Got it.
And actually, the PS2 version has levels that are not in any other console.
Wow.
Yeah, in terms of graphics, this is like the most impressive game I have ever seen.
Yeah, just the physics of everything in here. I mean, when you throw something, the explosion and what it causes other objects to do in turn.
Well, and one of the things that the PlayStation 3 version has that's unique to the PS3 because it needs so much power to do this is a physics engine where it doesn't, like if you break something, for example, it doesn't just break with a pre-done, pre-recorded animation. It actually it knows, okay, how did you hit it? What was it hit with? At what speed? At what pressure? What kind of material is it? And it breaks differently every single time.
Got it.
As such, it's and same thing with like these doors here. It's not just like you do force push, they fling open.
Right. Depends on where you hit it, affects where they bend and how they fling open.
Yeah. So like sometimes, early on, it takes a couple tries to get it fully open.
Yeah, and I think that's something actually that the 360 version does not have really, is a whole lot of the physics, calculation, and just some of the graphics. I think this looks more impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's because the PS3 is more powerful. I think it can handle. That hurt. It can handle a little bit more.
Got it.
And I should actually point out the interface is very simple. So the green bar is your health meter, which you replenish by defeating enemies.
Okay.
And then the blue bar is your force power meter. So like, say for example, I pick something up with the force, you can see it drains on my blue force power meter.
Now, does it drain as you hold it?
No, it's a set thing. So like once you pick it up, you can move it around as long as you want, which is a very nice feature.
Yeah, definitely.
Throwing it doesn't take any more power. It's a one-time deal. But like say for example, force lightning, the longer you do it, the more it drains. Force lightning will drain it pretty quickly.
Got it.
But then it regenerates slowly over time.
Okay, that's
pretty
nice.
quickly actually. And the more you actually can get upgrades with force points. You can upgrade how fast it takes,
how fast it
recharges, and also how much it can store. When you start out, it's like a single lightsaber throw, for example, would like completely drain you.
And then it has to recharge.
And then it has to recharge over time, yeah. And this is another interesting thing. When you play the game on hard, because there's like, easy, medium, hard. There's like, I think it's like normal, and then there's like Sith Warrior, and then Sith Lord is the hardest. I have played the game at the hardest level, It is hard. But I recommend you start actually on not the default, but the next level up.
Okay.
Start on hard, I think it's Sith
It's a
Warrior.
bit more of a challenge.
The reason you want that is because normally, like on the normal settings, enemies, they act normally. The way you would expect. Very good AI on enemies, but when you switch to hard, the AI gets ramped up. It's not like they do more damage to you or they can take more damage. All it changes is how smart they are.
Oh.
So like, for example, with this Stormtrooper here, if I maybe grab onto him, he will actually, like, sometimes they'll grab onto things and you'll have to like yank them off. Or force push, they might brace themselves. They'll actually work as a team. They'll actually work as a team, like interacting with each other, not just as an individual unit.
Wow. That's impressive.
The only thing is you don't get that on the default setting or at least not very much.
Okay.
The harder setting is you get way more fun out of it.
Okay.
I think.
It's way more, the AI is just a lot smarter.
A lot smarter. Now here's a good point where you can really see the physics taking effect. That's a little glass TIE fighter readout right there. If I just get rid of this guy real quick. If I do the force push on it, or actually I'll do a lightsaber on it. You can see it just breaks apart in random pieces, but it depends on how I actually...
The size and the location of the pieces depends
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Now here's a little upgrade. A Sith Holocron. It gives you upgrades like damage increase.
Okay.
This is very fun to do.
Very cool.
Pretty fun stuff, yeah. And the controls are very easy once you get the hang of it. The trickiest thing is that some of the combos are just ridiculous.
Like really long?
Insane. I'll show you. On the pause menu, you actually, I'm sorry. There's the regular pause menu, then select takes you to the player options, which gives you your force upgrades.
Got it.
So here we have the upgrades that you have. You have 3 different levels of each upgrade, or 4 technically. Your beginning level, and then level 1, level 2, level 3. Becomes more powerful, does more.
Got it.
Here are some of the combos though. Like I'll go down all the way here. There are a lot of these to unlock.
So you have to purchase the combo, and then you're able to
Exactly.
use it.
You earn force spheres, they call them.
Okay.
And they actually tell you, in the game, you'll actually get a thing where it's like, if you defeat so many enemies, they'll actually say, okay, congratulations, you've just ranked up. You have an extra force combo, an extra force power, and an extra force talent sphere.
Okay.
So each one has its own monetary system.
Got it. So then you would go in and purchase the combo that you want to buy.
Exactly. But like, here's the aerial slam combo. Square, 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 circle, hold circle, then square, and then triangle and O at the same time.
Wow.
That's for one combo.
That's crazy.
It is. And there are times when it's like, as you're buying them, you're like, okay, I'm glad I have this, but I can't remember how to do this.
Right. It's like, when during actual gameplay, how often do you use a combo like that?
This is actually one of my personal favorites.
Okay.
I may have, over time, I've memorized them.
Down with the Empire!
So in general, The Force Unleashed is an amazing game. I kind of tell people, this is like the game that you show people if you want to say, if they say, what's so great about the PS3? It's like,
Yeah.
This is what's great about the PS3. This takes full advantage of every ounce of power that the PS3 has.
Definitely. I mean, this is just an amazing game.
Visually, gameplay-wise, amazing. Amazing storyline. I wish I could tell you more, but I don't want to wait. I don't want to spoil it for you.
You just have to go play it for yourself and find out.
Exactly. And if you want to figure out where you can get the game, we'll have a link on our website, which is www.harwoodpodcast.com. Go to the Game On show notes and check this episode. We will have a link to where you can actually buy this game for yourself if you are at all inclined to do so, for all versions, because all platforms are really great in their own way.
Yeah. I mean, although some platforms don't have the awesome graphics or AI,
Exactly.
gameplay is still fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the PS2 version was my favorite game for a long time before I got my PS3.
Yeah.
It's really great stuff.
Definitely, regardless of your system, go check it out.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions or comments for us, any games you want us to review in the future, comments on one of these last episodes we did, just send us an email. We're at Cameron@harwoodpodcast.com. Until next time, it's game on.